Well, hello there. How are you doing today? Do you feel like doing a little bit of DIYing with me? Well, come on in and let's get started. So what do I have going on for you for today? Well, today is Wednesday and this coming Friday is the first Mystery Box Challenge for 2026. The Mystery Box Challenge is put on by Courtney over at Creative on the Cheap, and she is the brains behind all of the shenanigans that go on in each of the boxes that she puts on every other month. So because it's Wednesday and we are a couple days out from launching the 2026 challenges, I thought it would be fun to kind of do a flashback of the past, because the mystery box has been something that I have been doing for now, this is my 4th year, if you can believe it. And it is something that I really enjoy doing with Courtney and the girls and collaborating with them. And I think it's just a fun set of challenges and DIYs to bring to you all, putting a twist on DIYing. So I'm gonna quit my gabbing. Let's jump into it and let me show you what some of my most challenging mystery box challenges have been over the last 3 years. Before I jump into today's DIYs, I'd like to thank the Farmer's Dog for sponsoring today's video. As most of you know, the doodles are a huge part of my life, and honestly, part of almost every video that I upload here on YouTube. I decided to switch them to the Farmer's Dog fresh dog food subscription because I wanted something less processed and more transparent than, say, traditional kibble. And I've been really curious to see how they do with fresh food. So this is the Farmer's Dog fresh dog food. The food is human grade, which means it's made in human food facilities with the same safety standards as human food. The meals are fresh and gently cooked, they aren't raw, and the recipes meet the AAFCO nutritional standards, so they are complete and balanced for the dogs. For my dogs, switching to the Farmer's Dog fresh dog food subscription was a personal decision. Traditional kibble is ultra processed, and I wanted to try something that felt more like real, recognizable food. I like that the plans are personalized, so the portions are based on each dog, even though the recipes themselves stay consistent. I've noticed they are genuinely excited at mealtime, and it fits really easily into our routine. So if you're interested in trying the Farmer's Dog fresh dog food, they make it really easy to get started. They offer 365-day free shipping and returns. You can check out the Farmer's Dog fresh dog food subscription using the link in the description box or the QR code here on the screen. And as always, thank you to the Farmer's Dog for sponsoring today's video. Now let's get back to some DIYing. Challenge item number 2. Really? Robots and aliens. Oh my word. Okay, I take it back. You were not kind. Oh my word. Oh my word. Now this robot versus aliens figurine really had me stumped. I was playing with it and yeah, look at the arms. They just are little spring thingies that just corrugated spring thingies that pop out with suction cups. I thought about wrapping this around a spring floral pot and having it hold it, but I just thought, no, that is not gonna do it. I really don't know what to do with this. Oh my word, what am I gonna do with this? Like, no joke, I really was kind of stumped, and I was kind of focusing and fixating on the suction cups. What can I do with the suction cups? What can I attach them to? Then I just decided to kind of pull a Courtney, and I pulled out the saw and decided that I was going to decapitate my alien. I remember Courtney had done this with a Barbie head, really just kind of mauled the Barbie head. And so I'm hoping that maybe I have a better outcome than she did with the Barbie. And as I was cutting it, I realized that the head lit up when you shook it. And so, yeah. So once I got this pretty well decapitated, now I didn't want it to look like I had just decapitated the alien figurine. And so I took some sandpaper, just trying to smooth out and level out the bottom of the head. Now, I felt like the head could somewhat be the shape of maybe an Easter egg, or I decided to go another route with it. But first, I'm going to use a dowel, not doweling, dowel, and I'm going to give it a good couple coats with some white chalk paint. And it's not going to be an egg, I promise. I was super excited to DIY with the ceramic rain boot. It is so cute. So I'm gonna go in with some filler. The filler I'm using today is a Bounty paper towel filler because we can, space filler. Then after I've got it fairly filled up, I'm gonna go in with some moss. I'm using a brown moss because I love brown moss. If you wanna use green moss, use green moss. Once I've got that filled in, because it is going to be a planter, I decided to add my alien head, and I gotta get it just right. There we go. You probably know where I'm going with this. Had to run on over to the Dollar Tree because Dollar Tree has these really cool pom-pom kits and felt sticker kits. And so I thought it would be easy just to use some of the parts in there, like these bunny ears that are already made. You're getting so many in a kit that I know I'll use them throughout the spring season. If not this one, the next one, or the next one. Once I got them together, the perfect spot for these ears is gonna go right here. Yes, it's a bunny bum. How cute is that? And so I think the head is perfect for that, but I will tell you, I am not done just yet using the alien, because after I did this DIY, I kind of got inspired for another DIY using more parts of the alien. And so yeah, you'll have to stay tuned for that. So I went ahead, added the ears just like so. Now the bunny needs a pom-pom on the butt. And I know the ears are backwards, but you don't want to see the back of the bunny's ears because then it's not going to be so cute. Oh, I didn't do the pom-pom yet. I did pick up more of these mini carrots because the bunny is digging for carrots, right? Why else would the bunny be digging? It's looking for carrots. So I'm going to add some of these mini carrots to it. Ah, yes, now I'm adding the pom-pom for the bunny bum. A pink one. Yeah, I do. I have a stash of pom-poms in my craft area in the garage. Saw these adorable beads at Dollar Tree, and I thought tying it, oh no, Kelly, come on. That is way too bulky and sloppy. No, untie that. Yeah, a little bit tighter. Come on. Nope. There we go. Wasn't super excited about the color of the carrot. I'll probably go back and paint it, but nonetheless, this is a super cute DIY. Let's take a look at it. Using none other than an alien head. If you don't have an egg on hand, use an alien head. Now for this giant egg, not needing the tulle ribbon, so I'm gonna pull that out. Thank you, didn't ruin the egg. And I enlisted the help of my Cricut, cut out a vinyl that says spring has sprung. Do you have any idea where I'm going with this? When you need an embellishment and you really have nothing to put on something like an egg, when all else fails, you just do the go-to bow. I didn't want to use a twine bow because I don't feel like twine is very Eastery. So I went with raffia, had some pink raffia in my stash, and this pink raffia bow is going to be perfect for the top of this giant egg. But I am not done yet. I am not just slapping a vinyl on this egg and calling it a day. This is where the inspiration kind of hit. I still had more of this alien, so not only was I going to decapitate it, but I thought, oh heck, let's amputate a leg too. And so that's what I did, but it was a bit too long, so I'm going to shorten the leg. Yeah, this alien was a bit too tall, a bit too long. So I'm going to shorten it up, and I'm going to amputate a foot, a suction cup foot. Yeah, just pull this off. It's gotta be glued in there, right? And come off. So, yep, there it is. And just putting a bit of hot glue here on this, just like so. Then adding the suction cup to the other end of this. Now I've got a double-sided suction cup stand thingy. That's what I'm gonna call it. Yep, look at that. That's exactly what I'm going for here. And on the suction cup itself, oh wait, yep, this is what's left. I don't really need it. I went and pulled out a wood plaque that I had. You can see that I painted this because I was gonna go one way, but then changed my mind. So on one side of the suction cup, I went ahead and hot glued it down to this wood plaque. And I'm gonna reinforce it with some glue because it is a suction cup and it is silicone and plastic. I didn't want it to pop up off the wood because it probably will. So we're just gonna hammer it with some hot glue. Gonna go in with more of that white chalk paint, try to clean this mess up a bit, disguise it, make it all one cohesive color. Then on that top suction cup, gonna hit that with a bunch of hot glue, a good healthy amount, and I'm gonna place my egg right on top of that. What am I making? A bobble egg. Not a bobble head, but a bobble egg. I'm not done yet. On the bottom there, I kind of wanted to make it look like grass. So I'm hitting it with a bunch of hot glue and putting more of that moss. And if you remember what the vinyl says spring has sprung. Dun dun, yes, pun intended. Using those alien legs as a spring and adding that vinyl saying spring has sprung and making this a bobble egg. I thought that was such a fun, inspirational DIY. I had fun when I thought of it. I thought that is itself. This is what you're making with the rest of that alien. And I don't think I got off too easy with that alien. I think I made good use of it. And because spring has sprung, it hasn't only sprung eggs, it has sprung some fun, beautiful spring flowers. So using that spring floral garland, I added more of the flowers and the berries to the bottom of this, and I am super happy with how my bobble egg turned out. Let's go take a look. I need some fall fabric for this DIY, and this one is gonna work perfect. It's one I had in my stash. I need to cut this into some strips. Yep, 2-inch strips is what we need. With that fabric, I will also be using one of Dollar Tree's larger wreath rings. To this wreath ring, I'll be tying those 2-inch fabric strips onto it. Just by taking and looping the fabric over the ring, just like you see me doing here, and pulling those tails through the loop, you can then tie the fabric onto the ring itself. Would you look at that? And guess what twist it is that I am incorporating into this DIY? Yep, that would be the no glue twist. I'm going to continue to tie fabric strips around this entire wreath form, covering it with this fun fall fabric. And there we have it. No glue needed. Look at how cool that looks. I love the torn fabric look. In my mystery box, I got this palette autumn leaf. So in between the slats, I'm going to place a piece of twine. And remember, this is a no glue DIY. So I was thinking ahead, thinking, okay, how am I gonna attach this leaf without glue? Well, before I do anything to it, maybe I should add some twine. Thank you, Kristen, for the slatted leaf, because had it not been a slatted leaf, I might have run into a bit of trouble. So I'm gonna tie up the twine in the back just to kind of keep it out of the way. I'm gonna give this a nice good coating. I'm using Waverly's black paint. I was just using any paint that I had on hand, and I really am globbing it on. Yeah, you see me, I am really globbing on the paint. I am being generous with it. I want it nice and thick, because to this paint, to the top of this paint, wait for it. Now for that second twist. Thank you, Bargain Bethany. I cut up my trash bag using half of it, crumbled it up to get it nice and wrinkled. Once I straightened it out a bit, to that super wet autumn leaf, I'm gonna place the trash bag right there on top. Since this is still a no glue project, the wet paint is going to act as glue and adhere this bag onto the leaf. Now this bag is gonna kind of give this leaf that dried leaf element, that look of a crinkled up leaf. How cool is that? So I'm gonna go ahead and get this bag on there. I'm not gonna straighten it out. I'm gonna leave the wrinkles in there. Once it's good and dry, yep, on the back side, you'll see that there are still those strings there, and I am good to go by cutting off the excess bag. I tried to use a razor. It didn't go so well because the bag isn't super stiff, so using scissors was definitely the way to go. To the top of this leaf, I am gonna add some of Hello Hobby's brown, and as I am putting this brown on the leaf, you can see just how cool this is gonna look with the bag, how wrinkled it looks. I'm kind of excited. This was an idea, I kid you not, that I came up with in my sleep because I really wasn't sure what I wanted to do with the bag. I knew I didn't want to make a flower because I had done that with the diaper in the last mystery box challenge. I really wanted to challenge myself and do something a bit different. When in my sleep, this came to me and I thought to myself, that is it. It is going to add so much to this leaf, and look at what it does. I'm excited. This might be something I incorporate into these leaves more often. Such a cool look. Now I will tell you that thinner bags do work best. Once it was good and dry, I decided to go in with some pumpkin orange and an ivory and just kind of use a dry brush stroke and brush over those elevated areas as much as I could, just to add a bit of color to this. You know, before the leaves completely turn brown, there is still a little bit of color left in them, and so just adding some of that cream and the pumpkin orange and maybe just a little bit of brown to blend it in, I think is gonna do the trick. Dollar Tree's got this 6-pack of laser cut fall words. I love these. Again, this is a no glue project, so to the back of these wood words, I'm gonna glob on some of the brown paint and hope that when it dries, it sticks to this autumn leaf. And I'm gonna place it right smack in the middle of this leaf, and yeah, I think it'll stay. Fingers crossed. I'm hoping. As I'm moving it, I'm feeling it. I think it's gonna work. This is the perfect center to this wreath. To this though, I thought I'd incorporate some of these wood beads that came in my mystery box as well, because I've got the string here on the back, and that is what I'm going to use to attach it to the wreath. So just by tying the string around the fabric itself, look at that, we don't need glue. But because the string was gonna show, I felt like it was an eyesore. So by adding the beads to it, it kind of made it a decorative element. And so yes, I'm just gonna use 4 of the strings. I ended up cutting off 2 of the center because I didn't need it, but it's better to have them there than not have them there. And I tied it on 4 corners, and look at that. My leaf is staying, and there is no glue on this piece, and we incorporated the trash bag. And I'm gonna say, I kind of really love this piece. What a fun DIY piece. But it was definitely missing one of my twine, or because it's fall, raffia bows. And so again, because this is no glue, I'm just gonna tie the bow to the bottom of the leaf here using some raffia, and it is going to get the job done. And there we have it, 1 project down, a few more to go because we've got more fun items that Kristen sent to me in the mystery box. This is gonna be interesting, and again, I hope that Megan was nice to me. What it was. Really? She sent me a diaper. Oh my word. Oh, she is really challenging me on this. And, ooh, what is, coconuts. Okay, plastic coconuts. We've got a 2-pack of the bikini top plastic coconuts, and I will not be wearing them as a bikini top, but okay. Alrighty, let's start this challenge off with the hexagon pieces. I'm gonna use the larger one, which is the frame. It's got some glass in here that I don't much need, so I'm gonna go ahead and remove the glass and discard it. Remove the stand here on the back. Then I'm gonna go ahead and replace the cardboard back into the frame, giving me kind of a blank canvas. Since we're allowed to dig into our stash, I did just that and grabbed some wood clothespins. I don't need the whole clothespin, I just need the wood parts of it, so I'm gonna go ahead and disassemble it. Now, if you don't wanna disassemble it and you wanna use the whole clothespin for this DIY, you can, but to keep costs down, I am taking them apart. I started off by hot gluing the clothespins to each of the points of the frame here. I figured out that once I did those points, it was so much easier to then put the clothespins in between each of the points and evenly space them and kind of angle them the way I needed to angle them. Now, this is a hexagon frame, which means it is an odd shape. It's not round. So the points on the frame, there is going to be more spacing. It's gonna be a bit uneven. So after pondering this for a bit, in those odd, uneven open spaces here, yeah, I would just take a couple more clothespins and just hot glue them right there on top, kind of disguising it. I wasn't sure if it was gonna look great, but after I got a couple of them on, I was pretty happy with how it looked, and I felt like it added just a bit of character to it. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, that turned out better than I thought, and I'm happy with how it looks. These clothespins, well, they're gonna get a good couple coats with some of Waverly's chalk paint in the color of maize. It is my favorite yellow by far. I think I can add this smaller hexagon plaque. It comes equipped with this aluminum welcome word, so I'm gonna set this aside because I think I can use it. Now, as you can see, I had painted it a rust brown before because, like I said, this DIY, I was just kind of creating as I was going, and the color just wasn't working for me. So I'm gonna go back over it with some of the dark brown. I got a couple packs of these wood dice. I think these will help add some dimension to this piece. So I went ahead and painted them brown, and I'm going to just use some hot glue to adhere them to the center of this. Now, I know the paint job isn't great on this, but it's not gonna show, so I wasn't super worried about it. Gonna hit the top of these dice with some hot glue so I can then add our smaller hexagon plaque to the top. In turn, look at that, giving this piece some dimension. This one had me a little bit stumped. The challenge item, which is a diaper. Thank you, Megan. I really pondered this for a minute. Then I decided I was just gonna go for it and disassemble this diaper. I am not using it in its entirety because for the life of me, I could not figure out how to. But boy, oh boy, do I have something in store for you using this diaper. I did use it, but I did not use the inside of it, meaning all of the cotton, and I wanna say there is like a silica type of sand in there, which would be, I guess, the super absorbent stuff. Yeah, that just kind of made a hot mess, so I went ahead and cut off the elastic, and I'm really just taking this apart to utilize it for the paper portion of the diaper. Is it paper? The paper fabric portion of it? What is the outside of a diaper? Somebody tell me. I could probably Google it. I'm gonna Google it. Please hold. Google, what is the outside of a diaper made of? Well, now that we know that, fun fact of the day. I'm gonna go ahead and cut up the lining of the diaper after I removed the cotton and the filling from it. And I'm gonna cut this into strips. I'm gonna cut it into 2-inch strips, and I'm hoping that I can get about 3 or 4 of them out of this. Who said you can't paint a diaper, right? You're on my channel. I paint everything. So I'm gonna go ahead and paint
the lining of this diaper because the color just isn't rustic, it isn't farmhouse, and it's just not gonna work for me. So why not? There's no rule against that, right? I didn't have to use the diaper in its entirety or its color. My diaper strips are dry. I'm laughing. I really did paint diaper. But you know what? It's gonna work. I'm gonna make it work. I'm gonna take my strips and I'm gonna hot glue them together. Well, I'm gonna fold it in half and hot glue it closed, right? Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. My painted diaper strips, they need slits in them, because why not? When I cut the slits, I'm cutting it on the side of the strip that was folded over, not the side that was glued, and you can see that I'm not cutting all the way through the strip. I'm just making these slits, and I'm gonna do that the full length of my diaper strips, and I think I did 3, or was it 4 diaper strips total? Anywho, I'm gonna do it to all my diaper strips. What am I doing with these strips that I just cut slits in? Well, I'm gonna roll it. And as I roll it, I'm gonna kind of hot glue it every now and again to keep it rolled, but you can see how I'm doing it. When I hot glue it, I'm gonna hot glue it there at the base where I glued the diaper strip together, not on the end that I cut the slits in. What is this going to be? This is going to be the center of my sunflower. Kind of emulating maybe sunflower seeds. I don't know, a sunflower has a darker center. And so I'm gonna go ahead and just roll all of my strips together, making one big center. Or I hope it's gonna be big. We'll see. Okay, looking good so far. Better than I thought. It's working. I'm gonna go ahead and repeat this process with my other 2 or 3 diaper strips. And I'm gonna attach them to what I already rolled, just continuing on with the rolling, in turn making the center of what will be my sunflower bigger. So I figured I'd add to it using the leather roll that Jennifer sent to me. And so pretty much doing the same thing that I did with the diaper paper, the diaper lining, I'm gonna go ahead and cut my leather into strips. Now this is, I wanna say 1.5 inch strips is that I'm doing. I'm really just kind of eyeballing it. And I'm gonna do the same process with these leather strips that I did with the diaper. I'm gonna fold those strips in half, hot gluing the 2 sides together. Why not? I'm gonna paint leather too. I want the center of my sunflower to match. So I think I have 6 or 8 strips of leather that I got from that roll. And these 2 need some slits in them as well. So my thought process was, how could I incorporate this diaper into the DIY and kind of disguise that it was a diaper? I knew I wouldn't be able to make the center of the sunflower large enough just using the diaper itself, but I knew that I could get it quite a bit bigger if I cut up the leather roll and did the same thing. And so just by using the diaper in the center, making the center of the sunflower a bit tighter like it would be, and as it blooms, it gets bigger and wider, and I figured that it would work well and it would be hidden nicely in with the leather. And so once I've got my leather done, I'm gonna go ahead and just hot glue it. You can see the white there at the bottom, which is the diaper. And just by adding the leather to it, which is thicker and bigger, it is really going to widen the center of my sunflower, giving me the look that I'm going for, which is somewhat like sunflower seeds, the brown center of a sunflower. I am gonna hit the back of this with a bunch of hot glue and just place it right there in the center. Once I glued it on, I was seeing that some of the brown from the leather was coming through, some of the white from the diaper was still coming through. And so to disguise that, once it was glued on, I just went back in with some of the dark brown and decided to give the center of this a good coating, trying to hide some of the brown and the white from the leather and the diaper. All right, this is coming along, but it's missing something. I'd say a few somethings. It really needs something added to it. It needs burlap. Burlap and sunflowers, in my opinion, they go hand in hand. So I dug into my stash, and I really wanted to stick with items that I had in my stash. I didn't want to run to Dollar Tree for anything for this mystery box. I just really wanted to keep the cost down and use what I had in my stash. This burlap, this isn't a tightly woven burlap. It is, I want to say on the cheaper side, it might be a Dollar Tree burlap. Went ahead, cut it into squares, and I'm gluing it around the outside on the back side of my sunflower. While I'm on the back side, again, dug into my stash because I need to hang this up. See, it's looking great. Once I got all that burlap on, I'm super happy with how that looks even on the back side. Wait until I flip it over. But first, we've got to add a hanger. I keep my sawtooth hangers when I take them off of things because you never know when you're going to need them. I'm going to place this on the back side so that way I can hang this out on my porch. For those of you who don't know, my summer porch decor is sunflowers, so this is going to be perfect for that. Love it. Look at how cute this looks. But my yellow was a bit too stark for my liking, so I'm going to go in with some of my Tim Holtz Distress ink in the color of Walnut Stain, and I'm going to darken up these, I guess, sunflower petals, sunflower clothespin sticks. Yeah, and I'm going to rustic them up a bit. It was still too plain for my liking. I can't help it. I needed to add stitching to the center of this because it was just missing that quilted, handcrafted look that stitching gives to a DIY piece. Can't forget the aluminum welcome. It's gonna work perfect for the center of this. Didn't have bumblebees in my stash, but I did have these cute ladybugs that are from Dollar Tree. I got these probably a couple of years ago in the floral department because they were so stinking cute. Never knew what I was gonna do with them, but I thought that they were such a fun addition to this sunflower wreath, adding just a bit of color. Just the bit of color that it needed. Okay, let's take a look at this hung up on a tree outside. Yeah, I really do have a nail on my tree. But this is where I ended up placing it right above this couch on my front porch. I've got a couple more DIYs in store for you. The items that Jen sent to me, I was really feeling the inspiration. And so I was excited to continue DIYing with the pieces. She sent me this rose gold galvanized plaque, which I was super bummed that I had to paint over because my Dollar Tree has never gotten the rose gold or the black ones in. We just have the galvanized ones. But that's okay. Nonetheless, I'm going to give this a good coating of that Hello Hobby brown, and I'm going to do that on both sides. How can I incorporate them into a DIY? Well, we've got this coconut. There we go. Perfect. Beads, coconut, done. Just kidding. I stuck the beads in the coconut just so they don't roll away. Taking some twine, I'm gonna go ahead and string these beads using a combination of the raw wood beads in each size and the dark wood beads. And I am going to do 4 strands of the same beads. How lucky is this that this plaque has 4 holes already in it, which is gonna be perfect for these 4 strands of beads, 1 on each corner. What to do with the coconut? Well, it's got a few holes. It's got a couple on the sides, one here, but I need one on this side and I need one in the center here. Just by taking the tip of my hot glue gun that's nice and hot, I can easily puncture a hole through these coconuts because they're plastic. So it's just kind of melting a hole right there, right where I need it. That was easy. I need one in the bottom as well. Macrame twine. Kind of liking the color. I think it'll go well with the raw wood beads. It is a bit looser of a woven twine, I guess, than regular twine. And since it will go so well with the raw wood beads in this DIY, I figured I can incorporate it by making a tassel of sorts. And so I went ahead and just measured out the length that I wanted it to be. Made it, I want to say, 5 strands thick. I'm going to take another piece and just kind of place it in the middle there because this is going to be the hanger for the tassel, but we don't need to tie it off just yet. Just by folding my bunch of twine over it just like so, then taking another piece and wrapping it right there at the top, making it tight we have just now made a tassel. And because this twine unravels so easily, I figured I'd just go ahead and unravel it, making it look even more like a tassel. Perfect. This tassel is gonna go right in the bottom of this coconut, feeding the twine through that bottom hole that I made with my hot glue gun. I'm gonna attach my coconut with a tassel to my galvanized plaque that has the 4 strands of beads attached to each corner. Now, I know you probably think I'm almost done with this DIY, but I so am not. There is more coming to this piece that I absolutely love. This one was probably my favorite DIY of all of them that I did with this mystery box. And I'd say it probably ranks up there with some of my all-time favorite DIYs, if I'm being honest. To the top of this, I feel like it needs a birdhouse. I picked up this birdhouse from Michael's. I actually had 3 of them in my stash because the girls and I love to do birdhouses for the backyard. And so I just snatched one up to add to this DIY. I'm going with the color scheme that I've been going with all summer for my front porch because this is gonna go on my front porch, and that is the color scheme of sunflowers, if you didn't catch on to that in the first DIY. So for the roof, it's gonna be in the dark brown, and the house itself is gonna be my favorite yellow, the Maize Yellow by Waverly. Fun fact about Kelly, for those of you who are new to my channel, I put stitching on everything. I do, because I love stitching. It adds really that country quilted, handcrafted look to a DIY, and I feel like a lot of times it finishes it off. And so to this birdhouse, there will be a fun amount of stitching added. Let's not forget about this ribbon. I need a smaller bow, so I just went ahead and folded the ribbon in half and made myself a bow. Only I am not feeling this color. This yellow has a green undertone to it. It's not gonna work. If I can paint a diaper and I can paint leather, why not paint ribbon? So I'm gonna slap on a good couple coats of the Waverly Maize and make it suit this DIY to my birdhouse. And I'll top it off with my painted yellow bow and a couple ladybugs as well. This is such a fun piece, and I really enjoyed not only having a bird feeder and a birdhouse, but it worked perfect with my front porch decor.
I hope you all enjoyed this blast from the past. You'll want to stay tuned for this Friday where we launch the 2026 challenges. We've got some new twists and new challenge ideas that I think will make for a new year of challenges. Courtney really works hard to keep this challenge going and wanted to do something just a bit different this year so it wasn't the same as the last. And I think that makes it just a bit more fun. So you'll want to stay tuned for it this Friday where all of us creators do what we do best, and that is create. Until next time, everybody, until Friday, stay happy, stay safe, stay healthy, but most of all, you know what I'm gonna say. Stay positive, please, because I'm sure trying. Bye for now, everybody.